The Ryback Show starts now. Welcome to the Ryback Show Monday Live, presented by Feed Me More Nutrition, premium supplements for men and women, sweetened with stevia and monk fruit, no artificial sweeteners or colors, vegan friendly. FeedMeMore.com. Save 20% as always, just for listening to this show or watching. Discount code Ryback Show 20 at checkout on FeedMeMore.com. Appreciate everybody. We're streaming on Instagram and TikTok, the big guy Ryback 22. We're over on YouTube at Ryback TV, Twitch at Ryback Rules, and Periscope at Ryback. In breaking news I saw before I was going live, I've just been notified via my Instagram feed on the tablet that Long John Silver's is going to be having vegan fish options. Vegan fish options at Long John Silver's for my fast food for the fish lovers out there. And I know there was something else going on as well with Subway. There was something, I guess Subway, and also this is breaking. This was out, I believe, last week. The Subway tuna fish actually did not contain any fish DNA whatsoever, which I think is actually kind of a positive. But that leads to the question is, what exactly is in that Subway tuna fish? Good to see all of you guys. Good to see all of you. I appreciate it as always. I've had a fantastic training session today. Fantastic. And arms, neck, and some stretching on the shoulders, scar tissue work prior and after, which there's more of that later. Great week on that. I posted a video as well on Instagram of the tissue that would not break, that was like bands in the back there in my rear delt. Actually, we've been doing 2 months, if not longer. This has been years, this whole thing, but this particular area, I could feel the tissue, and my range of motion was limited in certain areas, and the tissue was like bands, and we did dry needling and cupping along with the scraping and things for over 2 months, probably the last 4 or 5, along with body work from the other therapist every week, right? And then finally, the tissue started cracking maybe about a week ago. I was getting little pops, and I go, oh, this stuff is starting to go. And I got it worked on yesterday. The last 2 days, I broke up so much. I'm talking, I put the video up. You could hear it on the video, and that was nothing. That was just hours worth the last 2 days, probably 3.5, 4 hours. No joke. The last, I would say 2-3 days on that, but specifically the last 2 from yesterday to today, after she worked on it, it just started going. And man, it feels amazing. And that is allowing me to break up even more in a couple other areas, which will then revisit that again tonight. And it's just, my range of motion just keeps getting more and more and more. So it's, I know it's repetitive. I talk about it, but this is my life right now. It's grinding, Feed Me More Nutrition, morning to night, training and getting my shoulder, because if I can't get my shoulder, I got to get that shoulder to a point, and then it's add in a bunch of others. I don't want to cuss. Which I'll cuss probably in the next 10 minutes, but stuff moving forward. So that's what's going on with that. I feel great, and went and got Dutch Brothers coffee today. They built a new Dutch Brothers coffee down the road from me, and the line has been ridiculous the past week. I've actually gone by there several times to like, I've had it one time, and I'm, I like these Starbucks cups. I don't know about you guys. The big guy, I'm a fan of Starbucks. What I'm not a fan of is Starbucks has done another price hike on the black coffee. I feel like that guy like me getting the black coffee in this day and age with people ordering like 50 things there, I feel like I should be, I feel like the price of the black coffee should never be touched. They have so many other ways. I feel like you shouldn't punish a simple man that just likes his black coffee. I always order a large black with 2 ice cubes. I don't say venti. I don't use their language. I use the big guy, American language. Give me a large black coffee, 2 ice cubes, please. If you ever watch, I always say please. Price of that coffee, since my time that I can remember, was always $2.87. Yeah, sure. You're paying a premium for some good black coffee, but I'm in particular a fan of the Starbucks black coffee. Well, COVID happened. COVID comes around, so what does Starbucks do? Oh, they decide to raise the price of the black coffee. Cool. $2.98. Just under $3 for a large venti for your Starbucks lingo people. And I go, okay, that's my limit. The moment this goes over $3, I don't think I could keep doing this. Not from a financial standpoint, just from holding my grounds, right? I mean, I make life simple for everybody. Make them some money, because that black coffee, they're making pure profit on that. Well, during this pandemic, during the Delta variant, whatever you want to call all this shit, told you I'd cuss within the next 10 minutes, make it 5. They've decided to raise the price once again. $3.20 for the same cup of coffee the big guy's been going and getting for years. And I still went and got it a few times. And then I just said, you know what? I've got too many options. I've got too many options to keep coming to Starbucks and giving them my hard-earned money to take advantage of me. So I go, you know what I'm going to try? I'm going to try Dutch Brothers. I had it once. It wasn't Starbucks. But I go, maybe I just got to give it time. But then and I go there today. The line's long. I'm in line for 25 minutes to get my afternoon cup of coffee before my training. So I decide, I go, you know what? Let me go ahead and get an extra shot of espresso. And I'm going to go all the way. See if it gives me some energy. I get the coffee. I come home and do my training. I wanted to train at home today because I have this super expensive gym at home that I've paid for. I got to work out in it sometimes. And the weather's cooled down a little bit here in Vegas. So I get home, and first thing I do is I don't like the Dutch Brothers cup. I don't like that Dutch Brothers cup at all. The way the hole, it's on the top, the way it just doesn't, it's in the coffee, like with this, you could get, I just got it in my eye. This didn't help my point at all. Luckily, that's not hot. I'm a little embarrassed, quite frankly. I was trying to, what I'm getting at, before I somehow got that coffee in my eye, is I like these cups. And screw any of you laughing at me right now, okay? I like these cups. I don't like the Dutch Brothers cup. So the first thing I did is I dumped the Dutch Brothers cup into the Starbucks cup. And I did my workout. And the coffee wasn't bad. With the shot of espresso in it, great energy. Because I don't think it has milligram for milligram as far as for the size. I don't know. I'm going to have to do a little research. That Dutch Brothers coffee, I feel like, doesn't pack the same caffeine for just the regular. But also, when I got the shot of espresso in it, it also made it $3.70. So I don't know how much more their coffee is, because I think that shot, if I don't get that, the coffee's $2 something. But I'm going to have to go back and see if that large gives me the similar energy as the Starbucks. If not, I got to go to Dunkin' down the road. It's a little bit further, not far, and they got the Turbo. I like the Dunkin' Turbo. Big fan of the Dunkin' Turbo. But Starbucks, the 2 price increases during COVID, I don't know what they're blaming. And I know the first one, they blamed it on the beans, something about the beans. And I'm sure this was the beans' fault as well. So here we are. Thank you guys for joining me. That's a recap of my just fantastic day. You guys must think the big guy's just completely living a life of luxury and rock star lifestyle. But it's nothing glamorous. It's just hard work. It's nitty gritty hustle morning to night. A little bit of red wine here and there to relax. A lot of, it's good times though. I enjoy a lot of looking over reports and doing just small things to continue to grow and try to Feed Me More Nutrition bigger and bigger. So, Mo, this is live if you haven't realized. Yeah, Amanda, the Starbucks cup. I'm a big fan of it. That Dutch Brothers cup, I just didn't like the way the hole is. You get used to, I think if if I gave it, I think I'm going to have to give it a fair shake. I'm going to have to go there for a couple weeks. No Starbucks is going to be tough. I'm not going to lie. There's a good chance I swing by Starbucks once or twice. But yeah, not as many people on the live today. The YouTube has taken a dive once again. My Twitter, there's a lot going on with the social media. The only accounts doing decent for me is, well, TikTok, we just hit 1.3 million. And like on TikTok, I got 652 people in here right now on TikTok. Instagram's 50. Even though I got more followers, I got 1.6 Instagram followers now. We just went up on there. The amount of people that see my content, even on Instagram, while it's better than it was, as far as that started improving a few months ago, it's not a lot, but it's still better than what it was. TikTok has been on fire again. That's been going, and that goes through little dips where occasionally there might be a few days of like weird, very low views, and then it just, skyrockets. I've got videos, I get in the millions, I get multiple start going, and the whole account's just on fire. And then Twitter has been even worse than it was. Like I can't even get 100 likes on anything. It doesn't matter what I post. The post I post on TikTok, one of them has like 10 million in like 2 days. I think that didn't do anything on Twitter. And people like I've noticed the format I have for my strategy as far as my posting works on every platform except for Twitter. And that even though Instagram doesn't work nearly as well as TikTok on that, at least it works. And some of them will get into six figures for me, but it's just, we've talked about it a bunch. And it's something that I honestly, I don't know what else to do. I'm dealing with a multi-billion-dollar company that has partnerships with all these companies. And it's not just me. It's a lot of other wrestlers that have had an issue. If you go back, so in case you think like, okay, it's just Ryback. Ryback's full of shit, right? Ryback's a liar. He's full of shit. He's just blah, 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 blah. I go, well, how come it's not like that everywhere? Why am I super popular on others? So I could debunk that to a degree, right? But I'll go also look at anyone that's had an issue with WWE, all their social channels, nobody gets any traction. And granted, I don't think any of them hustle nowhere near and do with nowhere near what I do on that. But I've noticed a similar pattern. You want to know a guy, and I'm going to just drop a few names, but like a guy, remember Abraham Washington? Abraham Washington is a great speaker. He was a fantastic promo. He was, during our time in Florida Championship Wrestling, probably the best promo, or if not in the top promos as far as interest in the class and watching what he was going to say. Also, hell of a speaker when in his time in WWE. They really, his verbal skills, Dusty Rhodes loved Abraham Washington, and rightfully so. And I think his strength was in speaking all day long with that. But he posts and he does different things, but like a guy like that just gets no views. And I've noticed it's the same. Armando Estrada, and these guys have all had issues with WWE in different ways, gets no views. And like it's weird, not verified on Twitter as well. And then there's just certain guys I know that have had something that, even though it's not public, and I look at their accounts, they get no traction. You go, how is this possible? These people that have been on TV that have these followings, and granted, their following isn't as high as mine at the time, but they have good followings, and nobody's getting any traction. But yet you go watch all these people that have no followers, or they're very new, or they're very new on independence, and they'll get thousands of likes, even though it's because their content's being distributed and being seen. And I'm telling you, it's going to come out. WWE is working with certain social platforms, and they have a list, and they're suppressing. And I know personally from the company I have that was able to go into the accounts and see the exact stuff going on. I'm speaking 100% facts. So I know what I'm talking about when I talk about this. I don't even need to see that. I already know based off what I'm seeing and what's going on since 2016, and knowing about the time frame of when that legal stuff came out to when they chopped everything off. So, and I can't shut up about it, because if I don't thrive. I don't know what else to do. I've reached out time and time again, and we're working with a company right now, and I'm hoping they could get it fixed, but it's been stressful. So, and it's people, you have a business, you need to be seen. I do all this work. I pay people to do work for me. My Pinterest account, guys, we were making $10,000 to $12,000 in revenue a month on Pinterest. They cut that overnight. Everything dropped to nothing. I'm talking nothing because nobody sees our posts. Nothing changed on our distribution of the content. Nothing changed on our format. Pinterest will not reply. Common theme with the social companies. What do you do as a business owner? They're letting that makes me think, I go, what else are they going to do to try to, and it scares me because I'm dealing with very, very evil people. And it's not me BSing, not me lying. And I got to be vocal about it to something because I'm hoping the right people here is something where someone can go, Jesus Christ, let's help this, try to figure this out. So, but that's why I'm obsessed with getting healthy, get back on a place with power that has connections, get with the people I need to get with, and then see if we can then. But I have a feeling, and I truly believe this because I know whether you're political or not, like with the stuff with like Donald Trump and whatnot, but the stuff, and I don't like with the social media, and I didn't follow, I'm not a political person at all, but I know he has something going on with social media, the social media companies, I think Twitter and Google, on stuff that they had done, whether you agree or disagree, but the social media platforms should not be suppressing people, or at the very least, if they are going to suppress people, this needs to be public knowledge. And there needs to be reasons given because what's going on against me is completely unwarranted and illegal. And they're doing it, and it has nothing to do with my trademark. The trademark has nothing to do with it. I'm Ryback Reeves. I own the big guy. I own Feed Me More. The Ryback trademark is going to be awarded to me January, February when this whole thing closes. It's going to be awarded to me. So, but that has nothing to do because I'm legally Ryback Reeves. They can't stop me because then if that was the case, some people go, oh, it's because your name is Ryback on there. Well, then how come every other wrestling fan can have wrestlers' names in their accounts and they don't get that? You know what I'm saying? Because you're not allowed to do that. But they have partnerships with these companies, and I'm telling you, it's going to come out because there's going to be more rules and regulations that come out with this stuff the longer that it's around. And I promise you, I back up everything I've said 100%. I've never spoken a lie on anything going on with any of this. And I firmly believe it's going to come out at some point in time that WWE and Twitter and other social companies have done things to suppress people. And I think it's going to be a pretty big deal. And I know I could tell by the people who have had issues with them, and I can look at their accounts and go, yep, no doubt that they have something and they do it. It's just, what do? Do you just give in? Not me. I'll talk about it. I'll keep hustling and trying to find ways around it, but it's completely screwed up. Go ahead. Good to see all of you guys. Yeah, I know Money in the Bank yesterday. I haven't watched, I don't have Peacock. I haven't watched a WWE pay-per-view in quite some time. I'm trying to think if I even had because even the network, they won't let you cancel the subscription, but I was able to watch it on, I think, the tablet. There was something months ago I caught maybe a match. But with the Peacock move, I'm not getting Peacock. I don't care. Like, I'm just, I'll watch a little bit of Raw, SmackDown, and mainly just AEW. And, but yeah, Big E won the Money in the Bank briefcase. I think Big E is universally liked by everyone. I've always gotten along great with Big E. And I'm happy for the role that he's going to probably play. Winning that, though, doesn't guarantee anything. Anything could change. We've seen it with certain talents with that. And a lot can change from the time, of winning it and obviously what they're going to do with it. But I think in his case, I would like to see it play out. And he's legitimately one of the strongest guys in the history of the WWE. And I think he's very entertaining, and I'm happy for him, as I am all the New Day guys. They're all great guys. And it's nice. It'll be nice to see him continue to grow and evolve with this. And I'm looking forward to nothing but success from Big E. As far as success, just in the roles that he's going to play moving forward. Let's see here. Yes, John Cena's back. That will be We'll see what happens with all of that. Seeing what other questions. Walter, I think the 1-2-3 muscle joint tendon formula would be very beneficial for them on that, and to definitely give it a go. I think it would be worth it. I know, and I've heard from a few other people that have done something similar, just with their grandparents or parents that love the formula. I take it every day, man, and I like it. It works, as all the Feed Me More nutrition stuff. I can't promise you it's gonna work for everybody. But I think it's worth a shot. That formula is top notch, as is all of them. So thank you very much. Always appreciate when I get a lot of messages, guys, and it's always greatly appreciated when you say thank you and for the inspiration or whatever it is. That's why I do this, is to for the good people and to get people motivated, and it makes me feel good, and you try to just shut out the darkness and the bullshit, and just focus on the good as much as possible. And I'm here to learn as well. I talk, is my show with these, but I learn too. I always love when people recommend things and have suggestions. Yeah. Let me Yeah, there's definitely got to be some changes with the social media companies. I'm telling you this, I'm experiencing it, and I keep a positive attitude, but it's truly frustrating what's going on. And you can't tell me, I haven't grown in how long on Twitter. It went from 1.5 million in 2016. It's still at 1.4. It's dropped. And I've not gained anybody because nobody's seeing my stuff. So it's just stayed very, very the same with that. But I get 0.5% to sometimes 1% impressions almost on all my posts. Usually, sometimes 0.3, 0.4. How am I've talked to enough people that have followings that's smaller, and their impressions are always between 10 and 20% and higher if things go viral. I've never had that ever since 2016. So it's just, what would you do? That's what I ask. I go, people, like it doesn't make any sense. And then I've heard people, they go, you've bought your followers. Like, I've never bought one follower on any platform. How have I haven't gained any followers in 5 years? That was my time. And when I did that in WWE, that account, I never once, not once, ever bought a follower. And my engagement used to be fantastic on all of that. It was until all this BS happened. And I go, on top of it, I've got all these other followers everywhere else. And you can clearly just see, like on a place like TikTok, where we've hit 1.3 million in like 17, 18 months. And it's going to end up being much higher unless WWE, because they have a partnership with them now, I just saw. So unless they could somehow, but I got a couple contacts there that I could give a phone call to and go, what the hell's going on? Whereas I don't have that on the other places. But you're looking to get millions of views and hundreds of thousands of likes and interactions because it's being seen. And even on posts that don't go super crazy, I'm getting typically between 50,000 to six figures to anywhere from 100 to 500,000 on post. So that you post that on Twitter and I'll get like 12 likes. I don't see the correlation. The gap is too big. So, and it'd be one thing if the impressions were high and people weren't interacting. Then you go, well, nobody's interested in your content. But my engagement is actually great on Twitter. I've had many posts that are over 10% engagement, which the average is 0.5%, by the way. That's why I post those, so people can actually see. But Twitter won't now acknowledge it. They ignore it. But I have to keep doing what I'm doing, because if I don't, it's not going to get fixed. But at least if I keep being public with it, it at least gives me a sliver of hope that somehow, somewhere, something's going to happen. And also, though, I want people to see, because when it is fixed, and it will be fixed at some point, you're going to see the difference. So what's going on? Good. Hello. Instagram, TikTok. Let's see. Let's get to some more questions here. If you don't like something going on in wrestling, gimmick-wise, I just suggest you focus on something else. The goal is to get back to wrestling, yes, with everything. Again, once the shoulder is where we need it, which is we're doing, the work is endless on this. GTS is keto friendly and fasting friendly. It will not break a fast on that as well. Let me see. What was that question? Oh, Walter, thank you, buddy. Yeah, the Yoda, that was from my friend. A nice gift from her a couple years ago. So it's I've got Baby Yoda in a few places in the house. It reminds me of Sophie. So it makes me smile. I don't know why. Baby Yoda, I've never seen one episode of The Mandalorian, by the way. I just like the memes, and it reminds me of Sophie. Let me see here. Yeah, Vince definitely. But I tell you guys, and I'm a firm believer in the karma, and I don't believe he's going to be here for too much longer. And I honestly really believe that. And it is what it is, and it will be no remorse, no sorrow from me one bit. I believe he's one of the most evil human beings that has ever existed, and I'm not gonna blink twice. I'm gonna stay on my path. I'm gonna do great things. And time is on my side, not his. And it is what it is. This is personal, and I try my best. But this guy is trying to ruin my life, and karma will repay. Anybody who's ever tried to do anything bad against me has always suffered at some point in time. I swear to God. So that's why I stay patient. I've always been protected, and I've been truly blessed. And I think a lot of this stuff in the next year, the momentum swings back into the big guy's favor. What's going on? Joseph, any suggestions for middle of the night snacking? Yeah, if you're going to snack, you got to just replace the processed junk food with things that aren't calorie dense. Things, I do at the end of the night when I do my last meal, if for whatever reason I'm hungry before I go to bed, I'll get a plate, I'll do a tomato or two, put my stuff on, a little potassium salt, a little pink Himalayan sea salt, a little pepper, black pepper. I'll do a couple pickle spheres, organic pickles. I'll do a little handful of olives and a few celery sticks. And what I do is I wash off the celery sticks and put a little bit of the potassium salt on those as well. I absolutely love it. I like that. That is very satisfying to me. And I'm not getting hardly any calories in that whatsoever. No damage being done. If anything, it's speeding up your metabolism with that stuff and giving you a dosage of micronutrients. So you gotta be smart with what you're putting in your body. I used to live with a guy that was when I was in wrestling, and I'm not going to say his name. He was a big snacker, and he had body problems. As far as he would work out really hard. He would diet. He always did a bunch of diets. He would like diet really hard, then fall off. But what he did, he had a bunch of snacks in the house, and he had his cupboard. We all had like our cupboards, and he would have like these chocolate covered pretzels and things, like all these ridiculous things. And I'm like, why would you even buy those to begin with? Like, I just don't understand it, because I was like, and what he would do though is he would eat bags of this stuff at night, bags, and his body would show. His body fat would stay very, very high at times for being even as lean as he was, because he had horrible nighttime eating habits. So that's where you really, really have to know you have to know yourself. but you got to start trying different foods, and you got to get that first night in the bag of like doing something and then do it again and get in a consistent routine of not eating junk. And then you also have to get in the habit of not buying that stuff and being an asshole in the first place. Why are you going to buy it? Why? Don't put it in the house. That's one of the biggest mistakes people make is they kill themselves and they do great 3/4 of the day. Then night comes. You know, that's like if you're an alcoholic but you just fill your house with all the different liquors. What do you think you're going to do? What do you think you're going to do the first moment you got a bar stocked full of hard alcohol? You're a raging alcoholic, or you just got to get out of AA and you come and live in a house just filled with booze. Chances are you're going to drink it. So that is stuff you got to work on. You know, if you have nothing but good options to eat at night, chances are you're probably going to pick one of the good options, unless you're an asshole and you Postmate something. If it's in your house, it's in your mouth. It's a good point, man. It's not made up. Man, it's still Justin. Good to see you, bud. I probably will put on Raw. It comes on at 8 here. I'll watch a little bit of it tonight. I don't sit around and I can't watch those whole things, but I can put on a couple matches, or if I put it on, I keep the sound off. I'm not a big fan of the commentary, so I just keep it off. I'll listen to an audiobook if I have it on and I'm doing my work. And then if I see something that piques my interest, I'll switch off the headphones for a minute or shut off the phone and just kind of do that and then watch whatever the segment is. I don't use CBD products. I've tried them, and I just don't. A lot of people swear by them, and I've never really experienced any of those benefits from it. So I don't know, and I don't know if I've not taken the right kind. I've tried different brands. I don't think it's bad by any means. I believe in it, and I think it's not going anywhere. But I think it's like, you know, not everything works for everyone, and I don't know if I'm just one of the people that really, you know, haven't experienced great benefits from it. We've got a super chat. You were the what is it? The Betador editor. The Betador editor. Hold on, let me get this on the. Pull it up on the old big screen. You were my favorite wrestler when I was a kid, man. Keep on grinding. Happy to see that you have a YouTube channel. Thank you very much, buddy. And I look forward to eventually being back in the mix and at some point in time with everything. 2030 is when I'm going to debut. It's 50 years old at that point. Jesus. 2031. 2031. Yep, we got Finn Balor back. I'm happy. I've always got along with Finn. We follow each other on social. We always got along well. I have been to Turkey. I've wrestled in Turkey. I think I don't remember what I remember the arena actually. Was it Istanbul? I have been to Turkey though. I remember we stopped by there on a tour. Seeing what else we got going on. Thank you very much, Nelson. I try to have a little bit of entertainment in everything that I do. These shows, the Ryback show is a little more serious more often than not. Yeah, sweating is a very good thing. Especially, you know, doing saunas, and it can help with you know, getting rid of toxins. We talked about a lot about sodium on here lately. You know, you do lose a lot of sodium, which can be beneficial for certain things, but you got to make sure you replenish your sodium with the right kind. And that's a very individual thing depending on your activity level and what else you got going on and what your diet's like. But, you know, I'm a big fan of the pink Himalayan sea salt and the potassium salt. Increasing potassium with sodium is beneficial. And I find that when I increase my potassium, my pumps are much better. And it has, again, it's something to do with the whole potassium sodium pump. And then there's oftentimes, depending on our diet, potassium, we're not getting enough of it. And potassium really, really is important. And it's one thing, if you work out and you feel like you don't get a good pump, chances are you're probably not consuming enough potassium. Yeah, please do not come back looking like a gray hair Goldberg. Yeah, no, I mean, I luckily, knock on wood, I feel I look pretty, very, very similar to I did when I left. I'm still in my 30s. So I think, and with my diet and with all the stem cells and just being, I've always been healthy as far as taking care of myself, but I've evolved that tremendously. And I went from healthy in the sense that I thought, like, from a performance standpoint, which was good for building muscle, but in no other way, to completely vegan and even healthier, and which is even better for building muscle when you do it right, and endurance and spit it out, Junior, blood flow and longevity, just health wise in general, and eating more nutrient dense foods. I'm a big fan of black rice, aka the forbidden rice, or the aka the China rice. It is, as Donald Trump would say, it is known for helping with wrinkles in the skin and keeping you youthful looking. So I do anywhere from half a serving to one serving of black rice with my morning performance meal every day as well. So keep that black rice flowing. And, when the big guy's back, I think my prime years, I think we're going to have a lot of years of me looking like I did when I left. I've never wrestled in Egypt. I was supposed to go on a tour in 2012, but WWE, when I was debuted as Ryback, they couldn't get the visa done in time, and I stayed and did the loop that was in the States, I believe. And so I always wanted to go there. I wanted to go look at the pyramids, and it's one place I've never been. Yeah, it's not, you don't go back to WWE then call them out on the social media stuff. It's, you don't go back to WWE and call them out on the social media stuff. I don't think you guys understand. I love, like, some of you guys, but like when you go, oh, just go back. I don't think you understand. Like, no, it's not. That's not the. This is. I joke around a lot, and I'm very laid back individual. But what is going on is it's insane. It's absolutely insane. And you don't, that would be going back and working for the devil. And that's just being straight up. I know a lot of you guys put them on a pedestal and you don't look at anything past entertainment, but it's my life, and I would never, that's not how it works. There was never any issues with me and Zeke. I don't know what that refers to, other than he's not, I believe he was denied for the Feed Me, which I said he was going to be. And people, it's my trademark. I own the trademark on that. It's not his. And I'm going back, and what he tried to do is not right. It doesn't matter who you think you are or what you're doing. I've got an entire brand that I created around that and that I trademarked, and I did everything the correct and legal way. You just don't come in and go, oh, you're out injured right now, I can just take your stuff. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. I don't know. I've never heard of the shell shock causing heartburn. I don't know, if anything, because the cayenne's with ginger and it's cool. Cayenne doesn't cause any burning. So I don't honestly, I don't know what to tell you on that. The only other thing I could suggest is you're going to have to do maybe a Google search and see individual ingredients if they could trigger heartburn in certain individuals. It's not out of the question. But they're all natural ingredients. I've not heard that from anybody else. But at the same time, it's completely possible. And so maybe, I don't know, the other thing is consuming it with food after you've eaten, or make sure you're drinking enough water as well. Appreciate everybody swinging by. As always, you could save 20% on Feed Me More Nutrition on feedmemore.com with discount code Ryback Show 20. How would Ryback do in the Attitude Era? If Ryback was in the Attitude Era, I no doubt, based off of that period of time, would have been doing steroids. I no doubt would have probably been between 320 and 340 pounds. I would have been probably one of the freakiest wrestlers of all time. And I also think I would have been dead probably much sooner than I will in this lifetime, because that was the environment. And I have very good genetics, which I will not shy away from saying, because of my work ethic and what I do, which keeps me at that 285, 290 pound without them. And I say without them, but on TRT. So, and that's within the medium normal ranges on that. So it depends on the booking. I think, though, and there's no legal issues like there was Ryback in the Attitude Era with no legal issues. God damn it! 340 pounds. Have him shell shock, Austin. I think Ryback does pretty good. Yeah, Cena slimmed down because he's not on the drugs that he was on before, guys. We're not even gonna get into it. That guy, Jesus Christ. Yeah, I love Edge. Huge fan of Edge. Edge is amazing. I heard him and Roman. I would like to actually watch that match, because they have great psychology, and Edge is one guy that I always wish I could have wrestled against, just to the way his brain works. The stuff you pick up working with him, you carry on with you for the rest of your career. Roman's very fortunate, and vice versa. Roman's fantastic, and for Edge, but obviously Edge is at the coming back, and Roman, I think, has some good years ahead of him. So I think it's going to really, Roman's on fire, man. Nothing but positive things, as I do against pretty much everybody. I like Roman a lot. Emily just asked why Vince is on your show. Ryback. Ryback has 1.3 million TikTok followers. Shadow ban him. I don't know what Big Show's weight is when I shell shocked him. Big Show's always large, though. Obviously, Big Show wasn't as heavy as he was probably in WCW or the early on WWE days. But also, Big Show was also younger, and I would say healthier in those days, and able to, I would say, even though he moved well still, but he'd already had the hip stuff and the knee stuff, and was definitely at the end of his career when we wrestled, compared to him being early on when he wrestled, prior with the other guys. He's an enormously large human being, though, and he always jumped very well still and moved very, very well. He has as good a body control as anyone I've seen, specifically for as large as he is. He is an incredible athlete. And I've said it before, I think he's the greatest giant of all time, all around. Greater than Andre the Giant. By, I think, just the way the roles that he was capable of playing, from comedy to serious, and that's a guy that can make you believe at any point in time. But he's a fantastic physical actor, and I embraced the roles that he was always asked to play, and he's one of my favorites. I was always enjoyed. Was very fortunate that I got to work with Big Show. I don't. I had my performance meal after my workout. I eat 4 times a day, 3 meals and one. I do my ISO Hungry Plant Powered Protein Shake with this weight gainer, half a serving of that, and then 1 to 2 tablespoons of organic cacao powder, and then a tablespoon or 1 serving of natural peanut butter with that as well. I have been to Italy, actually. A true story. I was actually really upset over this. I think where were we? Was that maybe that was this wasn't Italy. I'm thinking of Barcelona. I remember I got a snow globe from Barcelona, and it was a bigger one. In the Heathrow Airport in the UK wouldn't let me take the snow globe, and I remember it was quite the ordeal. I got pretty heated at their TSA people or whatever, their security, because it was a snow globe and they were treating it like it was a bomb, and I was a little bit upset over that. And they literally threw it in the trash can right in front of me. And I said some things that I'm not going to repeat on here. And I'm lucky. They probably could have not detained me, but they could have probably made it. But I was pretty pissed off. Then I just let them know. I didn't do anything physical. Obviously, I'm not stupid. But it was I collect the snow globes from everywhere, and I knew I wasn't going to be going back there. So I was just like, it wasn't like an issue of like the money or anything like that. It was just like, you pieces of shit. Like, it's just a snow globe that they sold in the airport. So I'm like, what's the, what are you doing? What do you think, you sold it at a point, and then I think I think we connected from Barcelona, and we connected in Heathrow, and we had to grab our bags and then recheck them. And there was something that happened in that. I had it on my carry-on from there, and because I didn't want to check it. So it didn't, but it got through the Barcelona, the airport, and then didn't. I just know it was in Heathrow, and I was just like, you son of a bitch. But Italy, I have wrestled in Italy, yes. Brian says, this is pretty good. My Aunt Judy hung out with Macho Man back in the 80s. He wanted to pick my mom up in his limo, but she couldn't go because I was just a baby and she couldn't find a sitter. I don't know why that fascinates me. Did your aunt sleep with Macho Man? Oh, yeah. Snap into a Judy. I'm curious. That's something you need to ask your aunt if she had a piece of the Macho Man Slim Jim. I crack myself up. The Ryback Show. Oral Sessions. Okay, we're getting rid of that guy. I don't like you just repeating that stupid question. What else do we got going on here, guys? Any good question? Aunt Judy sleeping with Macho Man is my favorite thing of the show so far. Guys, I'm not a monkey. I don't you can't say hey, can you do the stupid head slap? I'm sitting here in my own home doing a podcast show. Aunt Judy definitely took his finisher. No doubt. Definitely took that big elbow from the top rope. There's no way. But I question now the question is, with the Macho Man was, if he was asking for your mom to come out in the limo, maybe maybe Judy didn't quite measure up to his expectations. So he was looking for a family member. So because she's like, oh, my sister, which begs the question, was your mom hot back in the day? These are questions that need to be asked. If we figure out this Macho Man, did Macho Man give your Aunt Judy the big elbow off the top rope? I don't know how many calories I burn in a day exactly. I'm not one of those assholes that wear the trackers on them. Do I ever attend any con event? No, I haven't attended. I haven't done any appearances in over 3 years, guys. Almost 3 years since Sophie with her disc disease, and I had to stop traveling altogether. So, what do you mean, Macho Man slept with Aunt Judy? What's going on? I don't know who I'd want to see become CEO of WWE. At this point, I don't know, guys. That culture, the entire environment on that side is just something I'm not too, I don't even think about it. I'm in such a great place mentally and physically, and I love pro wrestling. I'm speaking facts because of this company, of what they're doing. It's very personal. And for the people that don't understand that, I don't care. It's my fight, and I have to fight. It's one of those deals. You can't just turn the other cheek. I got to be. I've won everything. There's a reason why I've won everything. I've spoken nothing but the truth and given facts. And they lie, and they get called out when you handle them through the correct measures. Their lies don't work. So it's just they've gone a step further into something that I haven't been able to quite figure out with the social media, but I will. Burger versus pizza, man. I tell you, the vegan options. The modern vegan has a Mac attack that is better than any burger I've ever had. Thank you very much, Jose. I'm not even, you guys. I'm not even thinking about anything. I know one thing that I want to do as far as with wrestling, and I have the information, and I'm just going to continue to go about my business. I love pro wrestling, guys. I'm coming back for something specific. If I come back, I'm not coming back to prove to people that I love wrestling and going to go be an indie warrior or anything. I know what I want to do, and I know what I'm capable of, and I know, and that's that. And we're going to leave it at that, and I'm going to continue to do what I'm doing. I love all the indie promotions, though. I love all the other promotions. I got to stay focused. I know what I'm doing. Don't believe anything you read or what you hear, anything. I've always given facts, and I know what I need to do. I'm drinking the Simple Truth organic seltzer water, naturally flavored tangerine lemongrass. It's not bad. USDA organic, non-GMO. It's pretty refreshing. How often do I keep in touch with the Nexus members? We get together every other month. We wear our armbands, kind of like Sons of Anarchy. We all meet up at a local bar, fly everybody into town, and we have vests with the Nexus logo on it. Drink a bunch of beer, beat the shit out of a few weaker individuals, and play a little pool and shoot the shit on the past. Being completely sarcastic on that, guys. Who would you describe John Cena? Do I wish Daniel Bryan would have informed me more about the benefits of being vegan? So Dan, and I don't have a great memory of our conversations on it. Dan was very informed. And a lot of things that Dan, I do remember talking about at times, even though it wasn't a lot, um, are things I do now. But me and Dan had a lot of other things in common as far as, and he liked to read, I like to read, but he read different books than I was reading at the time. But I've since, it's like he was at a different developmental point than I can, and like, but I was at a different point on different things. And I was more into business and stuff at that time, learning what I needed to do for this. And then like a lot of this stuff that I've come across the last couple of years, few years, were things I look back and I go, I remember him mentioning that. But Dan struggled on the vegan diet, and because he came off and went back to meat and multiple times, I know, and I don't know if he's full vegan now, which he probably is. And I know because it was really, and at that time it was different on the road. I look though and see the way I eat, and I go, I think it would have been pretty easy eating vegan on the road. It wouldn't have been. It's not like, um, but it just depends. And like the protein shake, like my protein shake is amazing. Dan didn't. I just remember like they were horrible. All the other ones I've ever had, and there were a couple decent ones here the last year that I tried, but during that period they didn't even exist. So it was definitely tougher. And I don't know, there's different nuts, and I eat a couple, 2-3 servings of pistachios, but I'm not eating those every meal, and it definitely wasn't as easy. Plus, two, the people he traveled with, me and Cody, weren't vegan, so it was. But I just remember seeing him struggling, and I remember like we'd go to McDonald's or wherever we'd go, and I'd get like meat patties, and I'd get like 4 big, huge meat patties and a salad, and then smash it all together, or just eat burger patties with lettuce and with tomatoes and ketchup, and then shove lettuce in my mouth. Like that's the kind of stuff, But I'd get my protein and fats in, and I would watch my carbs, and every once in a while I'd get a package of trail mix, or I'd go to the gas station and get eggs and different things. And so it was, I don't think where I was, I don't think my diet was changing at that point, because I firmly believed that I was doing what was best for my performance, even though it wasn't. But I believed it based off what things I was told, and a lot of the information that I came across later, hadn't had yet. So, and I'm also of a thing where, like, even if Dan would have told me, I just don't know if that point in time I was ready to look into it. I don't know. But, as far as now, Dan if we would have had more conversations on the factory farming and on the animal, suffering and things, and the inflammation and these things, I think that would have piqued my interest much more. And if Dan would have told me, you can be a better version of who you are now if you do this diet right, I think there is a chance. But that was never, ever, ever discussed in that sense. So I always associated being vegan with being weaker, because I didn't have the facts. And I saw him struggle with it at times personally on the foods and drinking his shitty shake. And, so it was just a different thing. Whereas I'm very performance based, and I feel I have a very diverse diet of the protein foods and understanding, and not saying Dan didn't. I just don't like it. I just didn't see it at the time. So, but I think if he would have presented it in a different way, possibly, but at the same time, I can't say that for sure. Yes, Wade Barrett is still here in the USA. He's on NXT on the commentary team. He's been back with WWE for some time now. I don't really get. I'm taking a look here. Jose, check out the blogs on feedmemore.com. We have blogs on the vegan diet, how to begin a vegan diet, and then on the protein foods. And I think that will give you a little bit of information to kind of get you going. Seeing what else do we got going on? Yeah, and again, it's not easy for everyone. I know, in your work schedules, but at the very least, the more plant based you can go, the better you're going to be. And I think what happens is when you start going more plant based, you start seeing results, and that gives you the incentive and the motivation to go further with it. And it tends to be that's what happens to the majority of people, that once you start going down that path, it's usually inevitable you're going to be a full vegan at some point. It's just once everyone has a different speed, I think, of learning the foods and realizing and adjusting that it's not this huge inconvenience. Once you know, and it's not to say that you're not going to go and have it here and there, but I think there comes a point, like for me now, you know, it's not, oh man, you know what? Let me just order some chicken wings. It's not just, oh, I'm sacrificing my health for one meal anymore. It's no, I'm supporting the torturing and cruelty of the animals that I'm now aware of, where any selfish craving that I have, and again, it's the cravings for the seasoning. If I have anything, I never would eat anything unseasoned. I love seasonings, which I figured out, and the buffalo sauce, I use them on my meals, so I don't get those. I don't feel like I'm missing anything. But giving you an example, like if I work, because I used to love chicken wings, the Pizza Hut and the Buffalo Wild Wings. I used to love that garlic parmesan and stuff, which I need to get some good garlic parmesan sauce to put on my food, because that would also help with those. Because that would be like I would do that occasionally. But now it's not even something that I contemplate, because I know that doing that is taking more lives on that I just don't agree with how we're going about all that. Yes, I have been to UFC events before. A lot of fun. A lot of fun. But a lot of the plant-based foods, again, a lot of people think that when you go vegan, that you're just like eating, you know, fried broccoli, or like you're just like eating asparagus sticks all day long. And I'm like, it's just not the reality of the situation. The majority of people's diets are already heavily vegan to some degree. But then what you realize is people, though, don't understand. People think that like there's carbs, fats, and that protein comes from eating animals. You can get your protein from eating animals, but we have all the protein foods. And typically, a lot of things, what's happening, we've been sold that we need way more protein than we ever needed. But what we're doing is, a lot of times you go to Chipotle or you go to these places, you know, you're getting, you know, with the rice and beans already, you're already getting the majority of the protein that you need. And then people pack on more protein and fats with all the other things. I used to get double, triple meat and just overeat protein that I didn't need. And it's you learn that, though, once you switch over and realize, like, oh, wait a second, my muscles aren't all disappearing. Oh, wait a second, my endurance is getting better. My blood flow is getting better. I feel better. My mood is getting better. And then you realize, you go, oh, wait, yeah, maybe we're being lied to about a lot of stuff. So, and they even said too, with a lot of this for you guys, that, and you know, I put out a tweet, and it's not the dismissing COVID or the variants of COVID or anything, but like, more people die every year from a bad diet. And the reason why these viruses are as bad as they are for a certain portion of the population is because of the absolute shit diets that we have that have given us pre-existing conditions. And I'm not saying 100% of the time in everyone's case, but in the majority, our diets are the problem. And they've done different studies showing that the vegan diet, people are 70-something% less likely to contract COVID. And I'm not saying have you seen me? I've 8.5 months plus not been sick. Yeah, I take my kick out immune system support. Everyone should be on an immune system booster this day and age anyways, whether you take ours or not with Feed Me More Nutrition. But it's because I have a diverse diet, and I always have. Even when I ate animals things, I still ate my vegetables. I ate not as much as I eat now, but I still ate a good enough amount and always took a multivitamin, a whole food multivitamin, different things. And I've always been big on supplementation. So even what I lacked in my diet at the time, I was still getting nutrition, even though I do think it's better to get it from whole foods when you can. But it's not by accident. And all my friends that I know that are vegan have never been sick during all this. It's not a coincidence. And I'm not saying it can't happen, because it can, but there's some, like, we got to be informed on the things that's going on and what we're doing. Yeah, a lot of the vegan restaurants, man, you'll like it better than the regular versions if you go to some of the ones in Vegas. There's a lot of athletes, top athletes, that are vegan, and it doesn't get the publicity because this whole world, man, it's all screwed up. That's all I'm going to say. All right, guys. We're going to go ahead and wrap up tonight's show. I got to take the dogs out for their nightly walk and prepare my final meal and do more scar tissue work and a little bit more Feed Me More nutrition work to wind down for the evening. I appreciate you joining me as always, and check out Feed Me More Nutrition on feedmemore.com. You can save 20% once again, discount code Ryback Show 20. Have a great evening, ladies and gentlemen, and as always, stay hungry. Feed me more.